The Oklahoma Sooners are getting a lot of buzz this offseason, and it's not really slowing down. The hype train continues as one SEC network analyst continues to rave about the Sooners. Coming up next here on Locked On Sooners.
You are Locked On Sooners, your daily podcast on the Oklahoma Sooners. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Once again, thanks for making Locked On Sooners your first listen every single day. Shout out to all the everydayers out there. Tune in and subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Chris Deering of SEC Network and ESPN fame was again raving about the Oklahoma Sooners and quarterback John Mateer.
Yeah, it sounds like his big thing is Oklahoma fixed the problems that they had going into throughout last season. Going into this year, the questions was on the offensive side of the ball. That's literally it. Your quarterback position was not as productive as you would have liked. Offensive line was, young, but it started to hit its stride later in the year. Your running backs were, here and there, had moments, but they weren't as healthy. And so, but the defense seemed like it had the majority of the good health and good fortune the entire year. Well, now you need to see something on offense. What are you going to do to fix that? Oh, great. You go get one of the top quarterbacks in the transfer portal, and John Mateer, plus his offensive coordinator. So that makes it even better. You hire an offensive coordinator, you convince the quarterback to join him. That just made everything simple. The quarterback ain't got to learn anything new. He's now the teacher. He's no longer the student. Then you go out there and get one of the top running backs in the portal as soon as he hits and he immediately gets him. Like, that's huge to get a player like Jaydn Ott and his capabilities because, again, we talked about before, Cal has produced some backs, dude, like J.J. Arrington, Marshawn Lynch. I mean, you've seen Cal running backs in the NFL, and people are like, how? I'm like, I don't know. They somehow do it. It's magic, right? But at the same time, the state of California produces a lot of athletes, and it just kind of, some of them get under the radar every once in a while. You get that. Like, Jaydn Ott was a 4-star at Chino, California. Nobody really knew about him, and here we are now. So you add those components, John, and you also go get a kicker. Tate Sandell. Big one problem we had was making field goals under 40 yards. This dude's only missed one. Sounds like you've actually filled gaps you needed to. And I think that's where a lot of these people, SEC Network, ESPN, Josh Pate, right? The list is going on for people that are starting to see, hey, with Oklahoma making those decisions, there's a very good chance that they actually fix the problems that can lead to them being successful.
Well, and the bigger part of this isn't that Oklahoma's offense doesn't have to carry the load. So while they're relying on a bunch of transfers to come in and be significant players for them, they don't have to do all of the heavy lifting by themselves. This is a complete team going into the season. Yes, the offense is going to be good, and it has to be good. For Oklahoma to go win 9, 10, 11 games, they have to be good, but they don't have to be superhuman great like the 2017, 2018, 2019 Oklahoma offenses had to be. They have to be good because your defense is also going to be good to great. And I think as much as, yes, they fixed a lot of things on offense, they carried over one of the best defenses in the country last year. And it's a defense that's actually going to get a little bit of help from its offense. It's not going to be put in such negative game situations, in negative game scripts where, they're down 10-15 and they don't get to do what they do best, which is rush the passer. No, they're going to be able to play in more neutral game scripts, more game scripts where they're ahead and they're dictating to the offense what's going to happen because their pass rush is so dynamic. No, but the offense, man, it's going to be really, really good. And I think they're going to be 30 points per game, 35 points per game. And if they do that, they're going to have a chance to win a lot of games this year. And it's going to be a lot due to John Mateer and Jaydn Ott. And those will be huge, but the resurgence of the offensive line, these transfer portal wide receivers that have come in, and even some of the homegrown wide receivers like a Elijah Thomas out of Chakotah. Like, this is going to be a more complete team, and I'm excited to see it here in just under 3 weeks now. That's
the only thing I want. I just want to see some completeness. I want to see some complementary football. I want to see the defense. We lean heavy on them, maintain our lean on them, and then have the offense make sure that we get over the hump with stuff. And we can do that. That can happen. Last year, we led technically in 8 games. We led at the half. It should have been 9, but we gave up that punt return against LSU, like literally right as the half was ending. But we were leading in the first half in 9 games last year. We led at halftime in 8 of them. And the only one that we didn't lead at the half that we won was Auburn. Right? We weren't leading at the half. We were getting our tail kicked, and Auburn did what they typically do, and Oklahoma had Sooner Magic. So that their voodoo with our Sooner Magic always leads to one side winning all of that. But I digress. Complementary football is critical for us to be successful, John, and I feel like we're going to see that. And I think the SEC Network guys, all of them, Chris, a few of them, Dario Noka's talked about this. They see that as well, and that's the thing to me that gets me more and more excited about going into the season.
And I don't even care about the schedule. I don't care. I'm done talking about the schedule. I'm done talking about
what those you're not done. Not be. No, we're about to break this schedule down. But yes.
I'm okay. Let me say this. I'm done talking about the schedule's so difficult. No.
Okay, there you go.
That. No, I'm done with that. Let's line up. Let's go play ball. Let's find it out. Because I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't think it's as difficult as everybody's making it out to be. Oklahoma is a different team than they were a year ago. And this team is poised for a bounce back. I mean, Phil Steele will say that they're the most surprising team. We've said it. This is a team that is poised for a really, really good season. They're not the team they were a year ago. That is a mirage, an aberration, a bad dream, whatever else you want to quantify that as. That's what it was. It was not Oklahoma football. And if you want to use last year to determine future success, by all means, you could do that. And you'll be very, very pleasantly surprised that they're not that team.
That's going to be the best part. That's going to be the best part, that they're going to upset a lot of people. And it's going to be in a good way for us as fans, just because a lot of people are pushing there's no way this team is going to be any different than they were last year. I mean, awesome, sure. I mean, that means that we should win at least 9 games because the offense will guarantee to be better. Just saw a metric came out about how the team should look next season, and it's like 4 times better than what it was last year. So that's the case. I'm not going to complain.
Everybody's saying it. Oklahoma's going to be a really good team this year. So you can still be on the downside of that, or the negative Nancy if you want to be, but it's time to start getting excited about Oklahoma football because it's going to be an exciting product on the field this year. Will they win 11, 12 games? Who knows? Will they win 9? Who knows? But it's going to be a much, much better product. It's going to be a lot more fun to watch, and it's going to be a lot more entertaining. You're not going to be down 21-0 in the first quarter in any game this year. You're not going to be down to Texas big at halftime like you were last year. You're not going to be. You're not going to be.
Don't get cooked.
You're not going to be losing to LSU by 20 in your own place. That's not going to happen. This is going to be a much better team. And that's going to do it for today's episode of Locked On Sooners. Thanks so much for tuning in and being a part of the show. Subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day, and available wherever you get your podcast. So hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button to let you know when new episodes drop. Follow Jay at Unfair Sports. Go check out his channel, Unfair Sports, on YouTube. You can follow me at John9Williams and read my work covering the Sooners over at SoonersWire.com. The show is at Locked On Sooners on all of your favorite social media platforms. But until next time, he's Jay Smith. I'm John Williams. We'll talk to you then. Boomer
Sooner. Oh, it's going to be so much fun. Please hurry. 3 weeks away.
Less than.
Less than.
Almost there.